Myotragus was a genus of goat-like bovid that lived on the Balearic Islands of the western Mediterranean. It is also known as the Balearic cave goat, mouse goat, or simply just cave goat. It is part of the tribe Caprini, which includes sheep, goat, tarkine, muskox, and Tibetan antelope. The fossil record of Myotragus extends over 5 million years, back to the early Pliocene on Mallorca. It is thought to have arrived from the European mainland after the evaporation of the Mediterranean Sea during the Messinian salinity crisis at the end of the Miocene epoch. The first remains of Myotragus were described by Dorothea Bate in 1909. The remains discovered consisted of a mostly complete skull associated with a mandible and some vertebrae. The genus Myotragus contains up to 6 species. The most well-known species is the type species Myotragus balearicus, which is the main topic of this video. This species is noted for a number of unusual morphological adaptations, including short legs with stiffened feet, forward-facing eyes suggesting binocular vision, a reduced number of teeth, as well as an ever-growing lower incisor. It also had a relatively long lifespan, which developed in an unusual ecosystem where only a few other mammal species were present. A study on the short limbs of Myotragus suggests it was incapable of high-speed movement or jumping, being only capable of walking. It also lacked the agility of modern goats as a result of a lack of predators to hunt them. The most unusual thing about these mammals is that they were ectothermic, or other words, cold-blooded, much like reptiles. Compared to most other mammals, it had a slow metabolism and low growth rate. It would have spent much of its time basking in the sun to save energy. This was an evolutionary adaptation to extreme resource limitations, which meant they could survive long periods of starvation on an island with limited food. Early genetic research suggested that it was closely related to sheep of the genus Ovis. More recent research has indicated that its closest living relative is the tarkine. The size of Myotragus varied between species, with later species on average being smaller than earlier species, representing an example of insular dwarfism. The type species, M. balearicus, is estimated to have been approximately 50 centimeters or 1.6 feet tall at the shoulder on average. A 2004 study estimated an adult body mass of around 23 to 32 kilograms, or 51 to 72 pounds. However, the size of adult individuals varied, with one adult individual recorded as being only 22 centimeters tall at the shoulder. The sexual dimorphism in the species is complicated by the high variance in size of both male and female individuals across time and space. Earlier species of Myotragus may have been grazers or mixed feeders. However, the type species was likely a browser, feeding on the Balearic boxwood, which made up most of its diet. This plant is known for toxicity, with a high concentration of poisonous alkaloid compounds. The digestive system of M. balearicus developed the ability to effectively process and neutralize the toxins without getting any negative effects. It has been estimated that this species reached sexual maturity at 12 years of age and could reach a lifespan of 27 years. This is exceptionally long for an animal of its body size. The mortality rates are substantially lower than those found for other members of Bovidae, with a large proportion of individuals surviving into old age. It has been proposed that females only gave birth to 1 or 2 offspring at a time, and had a relatively long pregnancy length. Newborns are estimated to have been approximately 15 to 18 centimeters in height, with a weight of 700 to 900 grams, approximately 30% the height and 2% the body mass of mature adult females. This is much lower than that of a typical ruminant, in which newborns are usually over half the height and over 4% the mass of their mother. It has been speculated that males engaged in rutting behavior like their living relatives. This was likely over resources or mating rights. Myotragus eventually became extinct, with the most recent species, M. balearicus, surviving until roughly 4,000 to 5,000 years ago. This was likely due to the arrival of humans and invasive species on the Balearic Islands. Their extinction was caused by a combination of human hunting, habitat destruction, and the introduction of feral dogs and livestock. The unique, slow-growing biology of the cave goat made it unable to adapt to these rapid environmental changes, and just made them easy targets for us humans. Well, that's it for this video. If you enjoyed it and learned something new, I'd appreciate if you drop a like and comment. If you like this sort of content, you can sub to this channel if you want. Stay blessed, and enjoy the rest of your day.